All right, cool. Ready or what?
Let's get it.
All right, let's get it. Welcome to another episode of the Food Community Podcast. I am Rich Homie Juan. I got my host, LA Icon. And today we got a special guest in the building. Give him a welcome to Peter. Plug and Play was good.
What's good? What's good?
Appreciate you coming through.
Appreciate y'all, man. Cheers.
Cheers. It's bad luck to toast without alcohol. Can you pass me a beer, I guess?
Give him Modelo.
I really didn't want to do this, but
Let me get one, too.
I'd rather not have bad luck based on these
Por
timely
favor.
traditions.
It's Chris's birthday. Happy birthday, Chris.
Chris was not born today. I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Chris.
Denying my homie his birthday. So you were saying you grew up in Pomona.
Yeah, I lived in Pomona from like 90, I want to say it was like 94.
Thank you.
Because I remember basketball.
Let's try that one more time.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Like 94. Yeah, I grew up in Pomona. I lived right there off of Reservoir and Grand.
That's not that bad.
It wasn't too bad. It was by like Washington Park.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
So you were denying.
bad.
So you were denying off camera that you've ever bought any horse from the Blade.
I am denying. Yes, absolutely. Never, ever.
Absolutely.
We'll restrict your girl from seeing this. Don't trip.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna see it regardless. It's all good.
How was it growing up right there in Pomona?
He loved the whores. No, I'm just kidding.
Pomona was crazy, you know? But I do remember it just like
Crazy.
like street gang culture out there. during
Activated.
That time was just act.
When was this? 90s?
I would say
Early
like,
2000s?
Yeah, it was like 94, between 94, 96. I mean, I lived there for like, let's see, from 94, I was what, 7, 8 years old. I lived there up until I was like maybe like 13. You know,
So which Pomona gang are you from?
I ain't from nowhere.
I'm just kidding.
I'm from Plug Play.
Haha, that's a sick ass hood to be from. You're the main head.
Was there a lot of Asian culture right there in Pomona growing up or not?
Yeah, you know that neighborhood. I remember, you know, there was like, I want to say, I think that's where TRG had originally started. Was from that neighborhood that I lived in. It was a neighborhood called Evergreen in Pomona, and there would just be mad heads, like all the Cambodians, like just mad heads, just like always in front of this spot. And I would have like, I'd have to pass by them because it was a gated community. But I would have to pass by them, you know, this is like a gated like condo community, in Pomona. I'd pass by them and you just see them, and my parents would be like, "Damn, like that shit looks dangerous."
They're gonna jump him in.
But yeah, no,
Did they ever press you or you were cool?
No, I was cool. I was a kid, you know.
Oh yeah, you were small. They weren't tripping.
I was out, you know. I played a lot of sports then, so I was always just kind of consumed that with sports. My parents got me to, you know, fortunately, they got me to go to school in Phillips Ranch, which I felt was
Very nice area.
probably a little bit of a better choice, you know, than going.
To Pomona High School or Ganesha or whatever freaking schools they got.
Supposed to go to Gary.
That would have been active.
It was crazy. That school I remember at the time reminded me of the high school in Dangerous Minds. Remember that movie?
Living in a gangster's paradise. You like that? So at what point did you start smoking marijuana?
I would say probably like, oh man, I think it was like 8th or 9th grade. 8th grade. I think the summer of 8th grade was the first time I ever tried it.
And how was that experience, if you could recall?
I got up. I remember we were just at the homie's house, you know, hanging out in the backyard. They had a little bong. I don't know. We were sitting in some kind of like little boat in the backyard. We were like, let's go smoke in this boat.
That's right.
And then yeah, I ended up, you know, just doing my first bong hit. You know, took like 2 fat hits, and then I just remember feeling so sick. Just sick.
Like ill.
Like ill. Like
That's
I started,
right.
Like
You went into toxic shock and got sweaty and
yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, my head fell in a bowl of soup.
Awesome.
Yeah, I remember just the room spinning.
It's an awful lot of weed.
like 13 years old. It wasn't even that big of a hit. It was just.
Oh, it was a single hit.
It was like two hits out of this fat bong.
You're like a year or two younger than me, so I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
At that age, was it already chronic or was it still AZ with the orange hairs?
I think it was chronic at the time.
Yeah, it was chronic. That's tight.
It was chronic at the time.
My first experience with weed, I ran home. I took a couple of puffs and I was like walking with the homies and I just booked it home. They're like, "Where the you going?" I'm like, "Home, G, home."
Damn. You know what's crazy? I don't know how the hell we got so high off that weed back in the day, because like all the genetics nowadays.
Oh, it's too crazy.
Weed nowadays are so much stronger than what we used to get. But
Would you say that like the original chronic that you and I smoked is significantly weaker than what it is today?
see, that's that.
Or who's to say?
I don't know. I mean, there was really no like THC testing back in the day like that.
Because I feel like I've gotten high as back then.
Same, but you look at the weed now, it's just so much more.
Is it just more crystallized and maybe a little bit lighter, and now we know how to breed certain colors in the weed, blah blah blah?
I think there's just a little bit more of a scientific breakdown with a lot of growers now.
It's not the Emerald Circle getting shipped down here. It's us in warehouses going hard
Yeah.
with the chemistry.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel it.
Like I think, shout out to the growers now. Like they're really doing what they can to, keep coming out with fire.
What were you gonna say, Juan?
Oh, there's a question. We recently had Jimmy Umile on the podcast, and he mentioned that today's weed gives him anxiety, and like he panics a lot. Do you feel like that's a problem with like? Do you see that like in today's weed or not really?
I mean, I think it's just based off of everybody's own personal like reaction to whatever weed that they're smoking on. There's so many different types of strains and stuff that you can find something. I mean, I feel like there's a weed strain out there for everybody. I really do.
Mines would be from Mexico off the corner of the brick. I can't smoke loud weed, fool. I will trip. I will have a meltdown.
No, and it's crazy because I went to the ER one time because I had a vicious panic attack, bro.
I love it.
And then he's all like, "Hey," the doctor's all like, "Hey, you could be real with me. Like, what did you take?" And I'm all like, "Nah, I only took bud." And he's all like, "Damn, that's crazy because lately we've been having a lot of people coming in, and they said they're for weed, and I guess it's giving them a lot of panic attacks. And the doctor said they've been seeing a rise in that.
I think
You feel it's maybe just the people, or you don't think it has anything to do with maybe they're putting something in the weed, some type of chemicals or something."
I don't think it's chemicals. I think it's just. I don't think it's chemicals. I think it's just. It could potentially just be like the potency level where everything is at right now. It can cause some people to freak the fuck.
Facts.
Have you had an experience like that?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time when I just get too high, I pass out. I just go to sleep.
Smart move.
That's the best move.
Okay.
And also, like, it's the only move because you get forced into, taking a nap.
So you haven't had an anxiety attack or a panic attack off of smoking pot?
Nah, I would say the craziest experience that I had I had no control over was probably just taking too many edibles.
That is a wild experience.
Because your entire, like, you lose all motor function. Like, for me, when I take too many edibles, and my edible tolerance isn't even that great. Like, I suck at it.
So then you take more than one.
Well, yeah, like, I think some people take, like, hundreds and thousands of milligrams. I took, like, 70 or some shit. But just the way my body breaks it down, just, like, an instant.
That was my worst panic attack off of marijuana.
It wasn't even a panic attack. It was, like, straight, like...
Paralysis?
Paralysis. Like, I felt like it was, like, a mix of, like, ketamine and weed.
That's vicious.
I've never done ketamine, so I don't know what that's like.
Oh yeah, don't.
I'm not down. You're too down.
Oh shit.
Back in the day, they called it Special K, and they were like, "You want some K, Icon?" And I was like, "Nah, I want to stay awake today."
The only things I'll never do heroin.
Cap.
I'll never do meth. I'll never touch any of that shit.
You didn't accidentally sniff some meth instead of ketamine, Peter? Don't lie, brother.
No, I do a lot of psychedelics though.
You're a freaking... Oh, I just got some mushrooms. I should have brought them and gave you some.
I don't. You know what? Like, I'll take mushrooms once in a while.
Are you talking about like DMT? You've gotten to speak with God?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've done that plenty of times.
Vicious ass fool.
I've done that plenty of times.
You're a sick ass druggie, Peter.
I'm just here to expand my mind.
What was DMT like? Talk about it.
That's,
How long did it last, according to the people that were around you?
bro.
Because I know to you it was a lifetime, right? You got old, you had a family.
No, it wasn't a lifetime. Like I would say it's like a solid, like maybe like 3 or 4 minute thing. Like its highest intensity, but it feels like you're on like one radio state. Like we live on this frequency, right?
Yes, you're on a totally different network when you're there,
Bro,
right?
you're on like you just switch from like AM to FM. You're like, what the is this, right? But it's a very beautiful thing.
Because you're no longer here when you're off that,
You're not
right?
here.
Yeah, yeah.
You're somewhere else. Like you're peeking behind another curtain of existence. It's nuts.
It makes me want to be down. Do people get stuck in La La Land?
It's scary. It's something that you don't want to abuse for sure.
I definitely don't want to even
You
do
ain't
it.
trying to wake up every morning and be like, I'm gonna hit this DMT.
I don't even want to do it, but I feel like I have to try it once.
You gotta try it at least one time.
I'm about to have an anxiety attack thinking about it right now.
I'm having an anxiety attack talking about it because of how crazy that shit is.
Tell us about your trip, please.
Man,
One of them.
Every single time has been different. I've done it 4 times.
What was the most recent?
The most recent one was pretty wild.
Last week.
Not last week. I would say over like maybe like a year and a half ago.
Fair enough, but what was it like? I'm sure you recall.
I do recall. I remember leaving into this like astral and plane of like almost like I was in space.
Uh-huh.
And then there were these 2 light beings that were just like floating around me, and they were just like with me, and they're like, yo, what are you doing here, kind of shit. And then I was like, all right, this is too crazy. Get me back.
You can't come back.
No, it's like when you you know how like you're tuning a radio station and you get into the middle of a station. Not that, but you kind of get a little bit of both stations. Right? Like you get a little bit of both.
We're at the drive-in. I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's kind of like what it feels like. Like your conscious is yanking towards this plane, and then
Your body's like, what are you doing?
You're trying to bring your consciousness back to this plane, and it's like a distortion for a second until you finally come to, and just like,
I don't think I want to go visit those light people, G.
everybody, there's another time I did it where I ended up in some kind of like red room. It was nuts. It was just crazy.
Who was in the red room with you?
No one.
Nah.
It was just this red room, and it was vibrant. Like it's like high def.
No furniture, no nothing.
It was just like this surreal, like just red room, and I was just looking around. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
I'm not down.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
You got to try it at least one time.
And so what's the other one? Ayahuasca?
I haven't tried that yet.
Peyote?
I haven't tried that. So
you take acid.
mostly LSD.
You're a monster. The little tabs or drops?
Tabs.
Sick, man.
But that I save. Those I save for like when I really, really, really need to tap in.
So have you gone to raves and taken the acid?
That was the first time I ever did that shit. That was fucking wild.
You're a wild dude, G. I don't know what to tell you.
Would you go to the events when they were popping, like Candyland,
No,
Gotham
this was
City?
Back in the day.
Candyland?
That's how I know you got down too, bro. No,
Yeah, that was that era.
Shit, the last time I did, so the first time I did that, the first time I actually did LSD was at an EDC, and I did fucking Puffland. Took the tab, and that was the craziest experience I've ever had in my life.
The closest I've gotten to that was ecstasy. I've never taken acid.
Oh nah, it's not even
close.
not even close.
It's not the new ecstasy where it's just like 75% meth. It was like when it was still like the pink dolphins or the blue Supermans or whatever.
Ecstasy is more of a euphoric thing, right?
I was tapping in and out of dream world, I guess you could say.
Wait, what does that do? Doesn't that just make you hella horny?
Nah.
It can.
That's what the Bone Thug song said.
Floating on ecstasy.
There's a lot of songs that say that.
Nah, there was a girl. I was at a UCLA frat party with my homies. One of my homies was fortunate enough to pursue his scholarly dreams, and he ended up at UCLA, and he resided on campus. And we went to one of those epic ass UCLA parties, and we robbed the plug. And sorry to say, I mean, we robbed the plug and we got ecstasy. One of the little,
And you're just like
one of the Indian kids.
let's
He was
give it a whirl.
he was ecstasied out, and we were like, well,
You look nice.
he was swimming. He looked like he was swimming on the floor, like
You look like you're having a good time.
he was like doing the breaststroke or something.
How did you like it?
I popped one, and I had a beautiful UCLA girl, and
Told her you love her.
counter to what everyone believes, I was not horny. I was more like scared to die. Nah, I was tripping.
The first time usually gets a little scary.
That was my first time, and I thought I was a cool guy because we had just hit that lick, and it was not cool. I somehow bounced back at 5 a.m. We all left, me and my homies, and the homie that lived there was like, Did you guys rob the homie?" And I was like, "What homie?" He was like, "The Indian guy." I was like, "That's not my homie." But no, we didn't.
Oh my goodness.
But if you're watching this, Jess, we did. It wasn't a lot of drugs. It was probably like
I'm sure he forgot about
10, 20. Nah, it's a good story. 10 or 20 pills, like maybe like a quarter pound of weed and maybe like a stack. Nothing crazy.
You probably did him a favor.
No, he was the man on campus. We just caught him at a broke time, I guess.
It's okay. His life probably
Oh, he's graduated college. He's the man.
right. He's
He's like Dr. Singh or something
different
now.
direction. He's like this drug dealing's not for you. Give me that.
No, he stayed the plug for I think till he graduated. So back to you though. I just wanted to hear you trip out on your DMT story. That was nuts.
Motherfucker, I'm telling you.
I'm starting to come to that realization very quickly. You also parked in the red in your beautiful matte black car downstairs. I saw that as well.
Well, it looked like a safe area to park.
That right there is probably the safest place considering security's right there, but they weren't at their post, which is why I was late.
Yeah. Hopefully they're gonna be all right.
Nah, you'll be good.
Yeah, what else?
So at what point did you come to the realization you smoked weed in high school? Obviously that went further. At what point did you try your first vape pen? Because what was it? G Pens was the original vape pen?
No,
G Pen wasn't the first?
there weren't even brands at that time that.
G Pen was the one, right? Or you don't G Pen, or what is that?
G Pen wasn't the one. Vape pen. I would say the first company to come out and really hit the market hard was probably Brass Knuckles.
I want to tell you, for me, it was G Pen that brought me into the scene.
Yeah, I remember G Pen coming out first, but I started the Brass Knuckles.
But no,
heavy
Brass
when they
Knuckles
out.
came through and just.
Yeah, Brass Knuckles just took over.
Shout out to
Damn,
X
what
to
an
the
era!
Z.
You just brought flashbacks right now.
That was what, back in like 2000.
15-ish,
I have no idea. I just remember G Pen.
more or less.
Time is a blur to me.
Same here.
You know what I'm saying?
I usually break down like the timeline of my years through weed technology.
So at what point did you come to the realization that plug and play was going to be a thing?
Bro, man, life is just crazy how everything just kind of comes together, right? Because I was around this. We were out there, you know. I was doing the thing, but before plug
Bless you.
play, before plug play, I was in the car business, right? I was in.
You auto auctions or what?
No, I was selling cars. I was buying and selling. I was working at an exotic car dealership for like a good amount of time in my 20s, right? But started in the car business, just, you know, selling new cars. I worked at like a Volkswagen store. I thought I was gonna be in the car business forever. I started at like 18, 19 years old, right? So 18, 19, running through the car business, pretty much my entire 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And then my boy, one of my closest homies from high school, he was like, "Hey, this is what we're about to, get popping. Do you want
Want to be down?
you want to fucking get this shit?" I looked at it and he drew it on a napkin.
That's hard as
As fuck. Drew it on a fucking napkin. I think at this time, like, we both had to move back to our parents' house. We were like 29, Chris. Hardest year of my life. But hey, after 29, it was lit, right? But like, all right, we got nothing to lose, right? I was like, I had, at that time, I had like a car rental thing. And then we were trying to like do this alcohol thing with somebody, right? And everything went to shit. I lost all my money. Fucking everything just went to shit.
What kind of alcohol was it?
It was a vodka.
That's what you get.
I know, right? I was stupid. Whatever. But you know what? I learned a lot from that shit. I learned so much about trying to figure out, just branding and what it takes to
create a whole fucking brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as easy as people think. This ain't no t-shirt business. That's for damn sure.
And the shitty thing was, like, we were trying to figure out doing this by ourselves, right? For the alcohol thing. We had a little team, but it didn't work out. But anyways, fast forward, I'm back in the car business. Now my boy hits me up, draws on a napkin. Let's do this shit. Product comes in. It's like, all right, we got it. Let's start moving this shit.
What was the first strain you used?
The first sets were, if I remember correctly,
He was like, it was all Turbs, G. No.
it's like strawberry champagne, Fire OG,
Fire OG, the classic.
Girl Scout cookies, Trainwreck.
Trainwreck is classical.
And then, shit, this might be wrong. It's been so. And then on the other side was like strawberry champagne. There was grape ape. We had pound cake as one of the first ones too. What else was there? What was it?
But it slapped.
It slapped. We had some bad batches here and there that we had to throw away.
Casual.
Just trial and error. Dude, this shit started from nothing.
I completely get it. So you guys were doing it yourselves.
Garage.
Yeah, you guys were doing it yourselves. Because as a matter of fact, back then there was still no labs. They were still doing it themselves.
Yeah, during the time we were, just trying to figure out and put this together, like, we just been blessed with timing and opportunity, where, things would just kind of come and line up for us to, get our license and be able to go hard in that avenue, right?
Yes.
And then really just getting in front of it and advocating for, the legal side of things and just trying to do it right, and just being a model citizen.
How long was it from you guys retailing it, air quotes, to you actually getting your documentation to retail it?
Not that long.
He's like, hey, fool, chill. That's fire. That's tight. Was it always the compact one? It was, right?
We've had the same one.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we've changed, like, the battery, of course, but, like, mechanisms. I mean, we've changed some of the stuff with the pods.
Of course.
Right. Down to the heating elements and all that.
Of course.
No.
But that's just fine tuning at that point. But what I'm saying is it's always been the same general.
Where's yours at?
These
You're smoking
greedy fools just keep their keep my shit. Whenever I'm a little late, all the goods are gone by the time I get here. I'm just the host.
This is for you.
It's amazing. Seems a little light, especially if Chris had it first. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, sick ass phone. Ha ha ha.
That's for you.
The almighty gold one. I hear so much about this. What's up with the prestige of the gold one? Help me understand.
So
Is there a number on this?
We only dropped 1,000 of them.
And this is one of how many? 1,000 then?
There's 1,000 that we dropped. We had a few hundred just to kind of,
For the homies?
for the homies,
I ain't mad at that.
right?
We'll call it 1,300 then.
Yeah, roughly.
And what's your favorite strain? Personally.
Right now, the cherry Sprite.
That sounds fucking lit.
This is the collab with Deso Dub and Awful Lot of Cough Syrup.
So Cherry Sprite is the collab.
Cherry Sprite is it, yeah. I just wanted to try it real quick because every time I start talking about it,
You have to hit it?
I gotta hit it.
I ain't mad at that.
Fire! This shit's bomb as f-. Shout out to Justin Chimbrowski for making this shit.
So then is it safe to say
Fucking killed it.
Is it safe to say that you guys are cultivating your own stuff in order to press it into that? Or are you guys outsourcing, or how does that go? Or am I asking some secretive
No, not necessarily. I mean, we've been able to build such solid manufacturing partnership.
Perfect.
It doesn't make sense for us to go and like
Do everything.
do everything, but I mean, like the people that we work with, I mean, we take all,
Yeah, they're built for this.
they're built for this, and it's tough. Like you just gotta try to find the best one, best people to work with that provide us the best quality, and everybody eats right. Might pay a little more for everything, but it's okay because we gotta have the best shit,
I'm not mad at that.
right?
What is one of the biggest pitfalls of doing the carts?
The pitfalls. I mean, there's a lot.
What's one of the biggest ones have you had to deal with?
I mean, counterfeit stuff for sure, but it's counterfeit stuff like.
I know a lot of people that counterfeit your shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, we're not going to be able to go after everybody. And
It's kind of impossible.
It's impossible. But I mean, if you look at you look at, I've learned to look at everything with perspective, right? And as long as I can find the good in it.
So you're honored to get counterfeited.
Well, I mean, look at it like this: if they're counterfeiting and they're putting our logos everywhere and it's building our brand as a brand.
People are also getting hip to knowing if carts are.
It's fine. Yeah, that's our job. That's our job to educate everybody on how to truly keep their eyes out, and how we're gonna really reach all the audience, like a larger audience, so they know exactly how to look for these things. Because I get these messages every single day where they're like, hey, is my cart real? Is my cart fake? I'll look at it and be like, that shit fake. Right? Fuck that shit. Throw that shit away.
What's some of the things that you'll notice it's fake?
Oh man, some are really bad. Like some are just like flavors that we don't even make, right? And then you could just tell by the label, the stickers. Some of the counterfeits are really, really close, but I don't know. I mean, they're all different. Yeah. We just tell everybody, just make sure that they scan the box. Like,
That's what I was gonna say. Scan the QR code, right?
yeah, everybody, like the easiest way really is there's the QR code right here. And you just like take your phone, scan it, type in the code, and it'll give you like, all right, it's legit. I think everything is kind of like QR code ran nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we want.
Perfect. Thank you. Counterfeiting, the bootlegging.
So counterfeiting. Man, you know what's crazy right now that's going on in the vape space is that I just read it the other day. Let me see. Let me pull it up right now so I can speak educatedly.
Sick ass. This was making me drink, and he's trying to make me smoke. This is retarded.
Cheers, guys. We just chilling, bro. It's Monday. Thank you for having me on.
Every day is Monday for me, buckaroo.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But every day's like
Also Friday, depending on the circumstances.
Hey, what's one thing about plug and play? Oh, never mind. You're about to look up that.
Yeah, he's on it. He already found it.
So Blacklist said they posted some shit. It's called the War on Vapes, right? So the FDA issued an order to detain disposable vape products at U.S. ports.
That's right.
fuck. But it's okay because the bulk of our products aren't disposable. And, our attorneys were on it pretty quickly, and we're like, nah, our products are registered with FDA.
Bam.
Like, we're not going to have no holdups. We're not going to have any issues. So I think, because they're doing both like cannabis vapes, and they're doing the nicotine ones. So
I
all
see.
the disposables, they're just seizing them at the ports. Like,
Regardless of what they actually are.
yeah, so everybody's shit that's like a disposable, everybody's stuff is getting, it's just getting held. There's just shipments and shipments and shipments of batteries getting held right now. So it can get real crazy right now. So whatever, like if you guys are on like heavy with disposables, you guys might not see them. Like you guys might not see them for a while. Nobody can get no one can get their disposables to production.
So you're not having those problems.
I mean, right now, like we're pretty much selling through whatever we have right now left of our disposables, but we're just gonna go heavy. We can kind of shift how we're gonna do things, right?
Yeah.
So just go back heavy with the pods.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
So when everyone else is dry, make sure you hit a plug play.
Exactly.
Oh, don't worry, baby. I know a marketing point when I see one. What's up? You guys got beef with other cart makers? The real question.
It's all love.
I'm not gonna shout out anybody. I'm just saying,
It's all love. It's all love to everybody. Whoever can get it. It's not an easy industry. It's not as simple as people think it is.
No, there's only X amount of you guys that are major players.
It's tough.
How you feel about Stiiizy?
Oh, you're a sick ass fool. Hey, at least I'm.
Honestly, like Stiiizy's very, very inspiring. Straight up.
That's tight.
Like what those guys have built, because I know them. So what those guys have built and the moves that they've made, and to be where they're at. I used to sell them their cars. Right? I used to be their car dealer. The car plug, right? And then we jumped into cannabis, and then it's like, all right, we don't talk, but we'll admire from a car. And every time I see him, we'll show each other love, like whether it's at a show or whatever. But some of my closest friends work over there, like family to me, close friends. It's a coincidence that they work over there, because they work over there. They're amazing at what they do. One came from film, one was a teacher, now she's a VP. It's amazing what they do together, and the organization that they've built. Like it's cool to be even brought up in the same conversations as them, but they're like 1,500 or 2,000 employees deep, and we're like 75.
I ain't mad at that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're on a whole other level, right? They're on some shit, but
Who dropped the carts first, you or them?
I want to say we came first, but they just came harder. We had paper.
I ain't mad at that.
We were just fucking
Grinding it out.
grinding it out. Yeah.
So everything he just said summed up was an admirable way of saying Stiiizy. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. That was very nice of you to give them that much love, though.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Like what they've done is like, it's phenomenal. Like crazy shit.
At least we know Peter's not a hater. Shout out to that.
I try to learn from everybody.
What's the next big move for Plug and Play? Like, what's the game plan? You already hit me with the pivot,
The game plan.
so I'm mad at that.
I mean, we're just kind of taking it day by day right now. We're in Colorado, Washington. California's our biggest market.
Of course.
And then there's New York, which we just started in April for 420. We're out there for the launch. And
Sick.
We just came back from New York a few weeks ago. I'll be back out there in like 2 weeks, but New York is lit as fuck. I love New York.
New York's a great place, man.
Fuck,
I've been a few
I love
times.
New York, bro. I love the people in New York. Like a lot of people say, everybody's mean as fuck in New York.
No.
no, New York is the shit. They're just real ass people.
I didn't bump into anybody that was mean in New York.
Dude, they're amazing. I love New York.
What's your favorite place in New York?
I don't know. Vanna,
Have you been all through Central Park?
wherever she takes me. Yeah, I've been to Central. We went to Central Park.
Have you been to the Rucka? You didn't take them? She hit me with the corporate shit.
Wow.
She was like, nah, G, we don't got time for that. We're trying to get to the bag, not shoot hoops. I'm not mad at that. At least go drag them to like the edge, if you know what the edge is, like where you can see everything. It's like a cool ass building. Hit you with some Mum's champagne. They don't got Moet. I don't know why, but
Maybe this next time I go.
when are you going?
I think in the middle of August.
Huh? Yeah, I'm not going.
August like 12 to something.
Hot as
It's hot.
hot as
It's like muggy hot over there.
yeah, fool. And if you try to catch the subway, go ahead, enter the sauna, baby. Right or wrong? Exactly.
They won't bring me on the subway.
I took the subway once, and I was like, "Yeah, probably just gonna rent a car from now on." G.
I still haven't taken the subway. I need
You have to take it at least once for the
Gotta do it.
experience.
But maybe I won't do it in August.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's safer in the winter.
I'm gonna be back.
Heat-wise.
I'm gonna be in New York like
A lot.
Yeah, so I'll take it another time.
Yeah, don't. Not during the hot months.
Yeah, it's hot as. It was hot. It was. Not gonna lie. But yeah, what's next? I mean, I think just taking it state by state and really trying to figure out how to get each and every single one like doing what it needs to do, right? Because California is like
It's Cali.
California's phenomenal. Colorado, you know, shout out to Tom, and shout out to Tom again too for New York. Our boys, our team, like, you know, like everybody, we're just trying to. The challenges that they face in every other state are the challenges that we faced when we first started,
I see.
right?
Yes.
So, yeah, there's a little bit of a brand recognition, and there's a little bit more assistance in that, but it still isn't like
Floodgates open.
it's not.
I understand.
Yeah, it's completely different in New York. Not everybody, you know, it's not as known out there. So we just have to figure it out, and that's the fun part. I think figuring out how to really, you know, like tap in and vibe out and really speak to everybody and you know,
I feel it. I totally feel
really
it.
touch everybody out there to really want to us like that. You know, that's the love part of it. You know, like we just wanna do this and really kind of let cannabis touch everybody. You know, and I know everything's different.
What states are still not legal? Is there a many?
Pretty much like all the Republican states, I would say.
We're not.
Not all. But
I'm like, aren't we Republican? No, just
no,
kidding.
we're not. We're Democrat. You know. Yeah, but I would say most of the red states.
Still, huh?
Yeah, most of the red states are still like, fuck you.
And are those any major markets?
I would say Texas is a big one. Texas
is big.
Texas would pop the fuck off.
I think that's the biggest state in the country, right?
It's big. I think like distribution would be like, you know, something to really implement out there. But yeah, it's a big market.
I feel it.
They're waiting for that shit.
And you guys don't deal in flour whatsoever.
Not right now. We did for a little bit. Just a little
Trial?
No, just it's like it just.
Oh, you mean on the black market? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just.
No, it's, you know, you have to work with cultivation partners, or you have to find solid cultivation partners at the right price, right?
Yes.
And during that time, like, why would they sell less to us when they can, or why would they sell it less to us?
When they could just push it to someone else for more.
To somebody else for more.
I feel it.
Why does that, you know? And so guess what we'll have access to? We're not going to have access to the best shit, because they're going to try to get all the money for the best shit.
Of course.
And we're not sitting there cultivating. Like, we're not cultivators. We're like mixologists.
I feel that.
Right?
Yeah. I ain't mad at it.
We're trying to create an overall experience. So, yeah, flower's a little tough, and you gotta look at everything. You gotta make sure every bag. Like it's just so much.
It's a lot.
Quality control, and you're limited on time because you have to work with it as fast as possible in order to bag it up and get it on the shelf. So you can't let like a week pass by, 2 weeks pass by, or else you're like, I'm gonna go. You want to go sell dry weed to a bunch of people?
Hell no.
So who wants to do the work to really have to get things done in that speed and have to run around and look at all these packs? Like, it's just...
I've seen some intense shit. I've gone to a place locally here, and they have conveyor belts and all kinds of crazy shit. I don't even know how to explain it to you. It goes through a filtration process of the different size of nugs, and it goes in a... They got that shit down to a science.
Damn.
Yeah, pretty unique.
No, I was stayed.
Shout out to the Cure Company.
Cure Company is a shit. Shout out to the Cure Company.
Yeah. Do you have your product in there?
Yeah. They're one of the day ones. There are day ones. DTPG, CCC.
Yep.
Like there are true day ones. Like they've supported us from very, very early on. Like one of our first stores in downtown LA.
That's love.
Yeah. So
can you recall who your very first legal establishment was that took you in?
I want to say it was the Syndicate.
Hard.
Yeah.
That's love.
Syndicate.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Now look at you. Ha, ha, ha. That's right.
It was
little by little, it's still a lot to go. Still a lot to go do. Like we don't want it to end. If somebody was like, "Hey, we want to buy all your shit," I'm pretty sure if we all sat down in a room together, like everybody, like me and the homies, like, so what's up? You're like, nope. Let's keep going.
We're trucking along.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it pushing because it's an exciting time right now. We're getting into the whole streetwear thing, right?
That's the play.
Off a lot of plug plays.
I am mad at it.
Right? So we did that collab with Desto Dub, off a lot of cough syrup. I think that was like one of the coolest things that we did. Shout out Bana. Bana really...
Bana made that play? She plugged that play?
Bana's the plug. Bana's the real plug. I just sit on camera and talk my shit.
That's right. You remind me of me. That's right. What else you got for us? What's next? What's next with the clothing? Hey, you didn't bring my damn clothes, huh, fool?
No, I didn't.
Damn, that's a kind of stoner ass, psychedelic ass fool.
You gotta ask.
Shit's crazy, G. I was in this fool's DMs. We were chopping it up. I was like, damn. I was trying to admire a shirt that he had. He was like, don't trip when I see you. I got you. I don't fucking know anymore.
Was it the jersey?
No, it wasn't the jersey. It was the something about Playmaker or some shit like that. I could be wrong.
Oh, the Zoomies one.
Zoomies don't make fat boy sizes. It's just ridiculous.
The Zoomies one. That you gotta ask Bana. Anything clothing related?
I have all kinds of things that I have to tell Bana.
Direct all apparel streetwear questions to Bana. She has all the answers.
You will be bothered soon. And I'm very persistent. Shit.
Hey, what's one thing about Plug and Play that is different compared to all the other brands?
Shit.
Or what separates it from everybody else?
That's a good question. I would say our attention to curating our flavors and experiences. We definitely put a lot of work into that, and also making sure that our quality is top tier. But other than that, I would say what separates us from a lot of other great brands is our community, right? Because it's just not another vape brand, right? Our community truly is made up of people that use and enjoy and love and really, carry this around them with them on a day-to-day basis in order to make them. feel a certain way or you know, be a certain way and or put themselves in a certain mindset, whatever it might be, right? There's a community of people that really, you know, are hyped about it, and I think that's what's different with us over any other vape brand is community.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to leave the people with before we clock out, my brother?
Now, you know what? Just want to thank everybody in the Plug Play community for really, really fucking rocking with us for so many years now. And we truly would not be here without that support and everything that they do. We're here to really not let them down. Right? So let's keep it going.
There it is.
Thank you for having me on here.
Shout out to the homie Peter, big boss of the PP.
Pause.
I like that. We got Bana in the building.
Drink his beer.
Look, don't be mad. fool.
Babysitter.
Damn. You're getting turned up.
I took the drinks when I was supposed to. Shout out to Wally in the back. Shout out to my boy Sour Apple. You know, we got Rich Homie Juan, Wizard of the Fools, right here on the boards as always. And it's LA Icon. This has been the Food Community Podcast. Much love.
Shout out to the food community.